I have been tagged by Charlotte Louise Taylor, who blogs at Right Like No One's Watching, to answer some questions about motherhood. Now, I don't really like things where you tag other people, Charlotte, so I will tag people at the end of this, but you don't have to do it because it just feels a bit pressure. But anyway, this is quite a fun thing to do, so here we go. So there's questions I need to answer. The first question is, your child is refusing to eat dinner. Do you stand your ground and demand they eat what you made, or do you make something else? I'm going to be honest, it totally depends on how I'm feeling, what kind of day we've had, what the situation is. In an ideal world, I will always stand my ground and say, no, this is your dinner. This is, what we've cooked for you and you have to eat it, otherwise you're going to bed hungry. There will be some occasions where I'll say, okay, let's try something else. But usually I'm pretty good at saying, no, it's this or nothing. And even if there are tears and tantrums, I tend to walk out of the room, walk out of the kitchen and just let my daughter cool down and, mope around a little bit. Your child has a meltdown at the store. Nothing is working to calm them. Do you leave and come back another time or grit your teeth and finish shopping? Usually I'll grit my teeth and finish shopping. I'm the kind of mum who I'm a bit like, well, sod you if you're doing your shopping and you don't like the fact that my child is screaming. Sorry, that's just life. And I think that it's important to teach kids that they can't just cry and scream and have a tantrum and get what they want. Because then they'll just do it again and again, and that's not really how life works. Because so you don't really want them to grow up into being an adult who thinks they can just stamp their feet and get what they want. So I actually think that teaching them of a value is more important than the comfort of some old lady who's tutting and rolling her eyes because she doesn't want to hear a child screaming while she's buying her potatoes. Soul's love. Your child gets too many toys for their birthday. Do you make some returns or save them for a rainy day? Totally save them for a rainy day. I'm not the kind of person who takes presents back to the shop. It's not. I just don't think. I think it's kind of goes against the meaning of giving a present. It just kind of reduces it to the value of the product rather than the thought behind it. So yeah, always take probably about half of the toys that my daughter gets for her birthday or Christmas, and I squirrel them away somewhere. In fact, her birthday was in September, and 2 weeks before her birthday, I was just looking around the spare bedroom and came across two big bags of presents I'd put away almost a year earlier after her last birthday, and I felt really bad that she hadn't played with them yet. So I was like, oh look, toys to play with, and it was lovely and it was great. So you have an appointment and no babysitter. Do you bring them with you or reschedule? I think it depends what kind of appointment it is. If it's a meeting or something, then obviously I would reschedule. I'm not going to take my 4-year-old along to a meeting. It's probably going to be quite unprofessional. But if it's like the dentist or a doctor appointment or something, then I would just take her with me. You have 20 minutes until unexpected company arrives. Do you rush to clean up your messy house, or do you just say, hey, it's okay, I've got kids? I would rush around. Our house is normally a complete tip. Well, not complete tip, but fairly messy. And yeah, we don't really have unexpected guests because that doesn't really happen in London, does it? You don't have people just like popping around and saying hi. But if friends were like, oh, we're going to pop round and just drop something off while we pass, then I would just run round and chuck stuff into the spare bedroom and close the door. That's what spare bedrooms are for, isn't it? Obviously. You're running late and you only have time to do your hair or your makeup. Which do you choose? Makeup every time. You're at the park and another child pushes yours. Do you intervene and correct them, or do you find the child's parents? I wouldn't intervene and correct them because that's such a twatty thing to do. Sorry, pardon my French. But the whole kind of like telling another child, oh, you shouldn't do that. Oh, where are your manners? Well, their parents are probably listening and probably thinking, who the hell do you think you are? That's awkward. I'd probably just pull my child away, or I might just do that kind of like, oh dear, kind of like making light of it thing that mums do, and oh come on now, let's go and play on the swings for a while. I think there are ways that you can get yourself out of that situation without making the other mum feel like crap, because every child goes through a phase of like hitting someone or pushing or biting and all that, and it doesn't mean that they've been brought up bad or that they're a bad child. It's just them learning the boundaries of what's acceptable and what isn't. So yeah, there are definitely ways you can get out of that situation without being that judgmental, horrible mum. That's it. That's all the questions. So I am going to tag, oh, I should have thought about this. I'm going to tag Emma, who blogs at Brummy Mummy of 2, and I'm also going to tag Kieran. And yeah, so I want to see your videos, ladies. Answer these questions and enlighten us all.